Do you feel like a puppet in the hands of a narcissist, pulled by strings, manipulated, and ultimately discarded without remorse? Enough is enough. It's time to break free from the mental chains and rise stronger than ever. In this video, I will equip you with 14 sharp strategies, forged from the unyielding spirit of Stoic philosophy, to confront any narcissist. You might wonder, how does an ancient philosophy like Stoicism relate to modern-day problems? The answer will surprise you. Unlike previous videos, this time I won't focus on exposing the narcissist. Instead, I want you to turn inward and uncover the hidden strengths within yourself. These are not strategies for confrontation or revenge. Stoicism will awaken your inner power, helping you set boundaries, nurture self-esteem, and drive personal growth. By the end of this video, you will no longer be a passive victim in a narcissist's manipulation game. You'll realize that true strength doesn't come from controlling others, but from mastering yourself. And once you harness that unwavering inner power, your relationship with the narcissist will naturally realign into a new order. Proactive silence. A narcissist thrives on manipulating the emotions of others. When you withdraw in silence, you disrupt the energy supply that fuels their distorted ego. Your silence is not weakness or surrender, it is an act of powerful self-control, refusing to engage in the toxic cycle they create. Arguments orchestrated by narcissists are not aimed at seeking truth or resolving issues, but at controlling and influencing you. They want you entangled in an endless loop of conflict, emotional exhaustion, and ultimately feeding their fragile ego. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely advised, nothing is as valuable as peace of mind. By choosing silence over conflict, you preserve your resolve and protect your inner tranquility. So, when you find yourself being drawn into a never-ending argument, pause. Take a deep breath. Focus on your core values, and remind yourself that you have the right to control your reactions. Don't let them make you a player in their toxic game. Choose silence not as punishment, but as a balm for your soul. It becomes a shield protecting you from the narcissist's harmful arrows, offering space to cultivate inner strength and true happiness. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, once said, "The happiest people are those who turn life's gifts into their own gifts." Silence is such a gift. It provides you with the space to reflect on yourself, understand your core values, and build a more meaningful life. When you master the art of silence, you hold the key to freedom. You're no longer swept away by the whirlwind of negative emotions, no longer a puppet in the hands of the manipulator. You become the captain of your life, navigating steadfastly through any storm. As Seneca affirmed, we often fear what we do not understand, but once we comprehend its nature, it can no longer terrify us. The same applies to narcissists. When you stop reacting, stop giving them the food of negative emotions, they are left to face their own narcissistic wounds, their fears, and insecurities they try so hard to deny. Remember, you cannot change others, but you can always change how you respond to them. In many cases, silence is the strongest response. Emotional self-mastery. However, remember that silence is just the beginning, not the entirety. Silence holds true power only when it stems from inner calm and steadfast, not as a facade masking storms of negative emotions. Recall the teachings of the Stoics: you cannot control fate, but you are always the master of your soul. Narcissists, with their sharp radar, can detect subtle emotional vibrations. Even without words, they can read you through body language, eye contact, or even your breathing. A single slip of frown, a sharp breath can provoke their attack, prompting them to disrupt your silence and regain control. They may test you with insults, provocative remarks, or even seemingly offhand comments to shake your composure. If you fall into their trap and respond with anger or hurt, they will see it as a victory. The silent battle with a narcissist is not a physical race but a mental marathon. The battlefield is your mind, and your most powerful weapon is inner peace. Imagine your mind as a garden. A narcissist will always try to plant seeds of distraction, anger, and pain. But you, as the gardener, have the power to decide what to nurture and what to uproot. Learn to manage your emotions like an artist sculpting a masterpiece. When waves of anger or hurt arise, take a deep breath, observe them objectively, and gently guide them back to stillness. Do not let the words or actions of others occupy precious space in your mind. Focus on higher goals, your true values, and your passions. Cultivate seeds of joy, gratitude, and love. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, your mind is your fortress. No one can invade it unless you allow them. Make your soul an unassailable refuge, a place where you always find peace and strength. When you achieve a state of inner calm, you have won. The narcissist can no longer influence you, for they cannot unsettle a soul forged in the fires of self-control and resolve. Peaceful silence is the ultimate manifestation of inner strength, the key to unlocking true freedom. Maintain distance. If you've watched many of my videos, you know that the most effective method I often recommend is cutting off contact. However, I understand that not everyone can take this step due to ties like finances, co-parenting, or work obligations. In such cases, it's essential to maintain distance and limit communication with the narcissist. Narcissists excel at wearing masks and performing to evoke control and manipulation. Seneca wisely said, "The wise man trusts not appearances but looks into the essence." Their manipulative behaviors, playing the victim, blaming and criticizing, are designed to make you doubt yourself. The truth is, they constantly adapt to retain power and keep their control intact. Therefore, the only way to diminish their influence in such cases is to minimize their impact on your life. You might wonder why reasoning or arguing with them doesn't work. The reality is, any effort you make only deepens their trap. They crave attention so much that any reaction from you, anger or explanation, becomes fuel for their manipulation. This proves they can easily control you and expose your vulnerabilities. Act like a machine in their presence. Freeze all emotions. Freezing doesn't mean being cold or rude, it's a protective shield against their intrusion and manipulation. As Epictetus taught, we cannot control others, but we can control our reactions. The art of emotional mastery lies in not allowing emotions to be exploited or manipulated. Think of your emotions as a valuable asset. Would you hand them over to a fraudster to be exploited? Of course not. So why waste your emotions on a narcissist, someone who will only exploit and drain them to satisfy their empty ego? By emotionally withdrawing and refusing to get swept into their psychological games, you reclaim control over your life. This is your most critical line of defense, not by confronting with anger or revenge, but by protecting your inner peace and regaining autonomy. As Epictetus advised, peace lies in freeing oneself from what is not within our control. You have the power to choose when and with whom to share your emotions, a wise, powerful, and liberating decision in the fight against a narcissist's manipulation. Sometimes, the best way to deal with them is to do nothing at all. Silence, non-reaction, and denying them access to your emotions are your most effective strategies. Mastering emotions against their provocations. When sweet words fail to sway you, the narcissist will switch tactics, provoking you and attacking your self-esteem. Their social media becomes their stage, showcasing glamorous photos and ostentatious posts, not just to brag, but to make you question yourself. Am I wrong? Am I inadequate? But remember Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. We have the power to keep our minds undisturbed by external things if we choose to do so. They will flaunt luxurious trips, extravagant gifts, and exaggerated declarations of love, things you feel should have been yours. Each happy moment they share is like a dagger to your heart, causing you to doubt yourself and ask, was I the problem? Don't be surprised if they suddenly get engaged or married to someone new shortly after your breakup. This is the narcissist's final blow, designed to taunt you and make you feel easily replaceable, like an old object discarded without care. But stay alert. Don't let their perfect facade deceive you. The harder they try to appear happy, the more it reflects their deep inner emptiness. True happiness doesn't need to be performed or showcased on social media. These displays are merely their attempt to fill the void inside them. The more they try to prove their happiness, the more they reveal their insecurity and lack. Seneca wisely stated, "We suffer not because of what happens, but because of how we respond to it." Step back. Observe everything as an outsider, not allowing your emotions to be manipulated by their theatrics. Behind the glossy exterior lies an empty soul seeking validation through the praises and attention of others. You don't need to respond or engage in their game. Your calmness is the strongest statement that you are free from anyone's control. True happiness doesn't need validation. It is quiet, like the inner strength only you can build and protect. You, who were once an audience captivated by their act, can now become a wise observer, seeing through their facade to liberate yourself. Stop apologizing to them. Narcissists, with their innate acting skills, can make you believe that you are at fault, even when it's clear that they are the ones in the wrong. They skillfully plant seeds of guilt in your mind, causing you to doubt yourself. This enables them to control and manipulate you, turning you into their puppet. But remember the philosopher Emperor Marcus Aurelius's words, "No one can hurt you unless you allow it." This is a reminder that your inner strength determines how you respond, not their manipulative games. Narcissists exploit emotions by preying on your kindness, empathy, and desire for approval. They level baseless accusations, wield words like daggers to wound your self-esteem, and make you question yourself. Am I really the one at fault? But this is far from the truth. When you apologize unnecessarily or take responsibility for things that are not your fault, you unwittingly enable their manipulative behavior. They see this concession as a green light to further entrap you in self-doubt, consolidating their control. Remember, you have the right to reject baseless accusations. You are not obligated to please everyone, especially those who exploit your emotions for their personal gain. As Seneca wisely said, those who cannot control themselves will seek to control others. Narcissists cannot control their fragile, insecure egos, so they try to control others to feel powerful. But that doesn't mean you have to let them. Narcissists often hide behind a flawless social facade, crafting an image of talent, admiration, and charm. But that mask cannot conceal their inner insecurity and flaws. When you refuse to be manipulated, standing firm and keeping them out of your mental space, you begin to shake the foundation of their facade. The truth emerges, forcing them to confront their imperfect and vulnerable self, which starkly contrasts with the perfect image they strive to project. As Epictetus taught, keep calm in the face of external events, for they cannot touch your essence unless you allow them. A narcissist can only hurt you if you let their words and actions infiltrate your thoughts. Instead of getting drawn into their game, hold steadfast. Don't let their emotions dictate your mind, and don't let their insecurities become a burden you carry. Say no to unreasonable accusations, manipulative tactics, and unrealistic expectations they place upon you. You are not responsible for others' actions. True power lies in maintaining your composure amidst the emotional storms they create. Finally, remember, you don't need to win against them, argue, or expose them to others. What you need is to master your own mind, protect your inner peace, and refuse to engage in their toxic games. When you reclaim control over your life, they lose their power to manipulate you. True happiness comes not from external validation, but from the ability to govern yourself. Learn to say no and set boundaries. A narcissist consumed by their own ego often fails to recognize how their behavior impacts others. They may feel entitled to cross any boundary, spying on you, rummaging through your personal belongings, or even cursing you to share their perspective. Unsolicited advice, taking credit for your achievements, or pressuring you to share personal matters in public spaces are clear signs of boundary violations. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have the power to control your mind. No one can intrude upon it unless you allow them. Similarly, you have the right to control your personal boundaries. Narcissists often lack awareness of personal space and don't realize when they've crossed the line. It's up to you to be clear about your boundaries and firm in enforcing them. It's easy to forget that saying no is, in fact, very simple. However, a lack of confidence in our ability to say no makes us susceptible to manipulation. Remember Epictetus' teaching, it's not others who trouble you, but how you allow them to do so. When you learn to say no with confidence and resolve, you reclaim control over your life. Set your boundaries calmly and clearly, avoiding ultimatums. Ultimatums only provide the narcissist with ammunition to use against you. Instead, remain firm but composed. Say no without over-explaining. Establishing boundaries isn't about winning or overpowering, but about safeguarding your freedom and self-worth. Healthy boundaries aren't rigid walls, but a kingdom within your soul built from core values, unshakable beliefs, and resilient self-esteem. They're not rules imposed on others, but principles you uphold to protect your peace and preserve what matters most to you. When you live authentically, making choices about what you will and won't accept, you establish boundaries naturally, without needing to say a word. You become like a deeply rooted oak tree, steadfast in the face of life's storms. To a narcissist, your boundaries may appear as challenges, inciting them to test your resolve. Like a defiant child, they see prohibitions as an invitation to push further and provoke. Instead of trying to teach them with words, let your actions demonstrate where the line is. Firmly refuse unreasonable demands and invasive behavior. Your steadfastness will become a steel wall they cannot penetrate. Their inability to respect your boundaries isn't because they hate you, but because they are emotionally immature. They lack self-regulation, constantly testing limits and breaking rules like perpetual children who only seek to gratify their selfish desires. Initially, they may react explosively, surprised or even angry that you dare to resist them. But remember Seneca's wisdom. A strong mind is unshaken by others' provocations. They will try manipulation, blame, threats, or guilt-tripping. Stand your ground. Your persistence is the key to reclaiming control over your life. Over time, the narcissist will realize they can no longer control you as they once did. They'll have to confront a bitter truth. You are no longer an extension of them, but an independent individual with self-respect. The freedom you gain from setting boundaries is the strongest testament to your inner strength. This change will unsettle them, making them anxious or regretful for underestimating you. But remember Marcus Aurelius' teaching, it is not their actions that harm you, but your reaction to them. Ultimately, they'll have to accept a new reality. You are beyond their control. Setting boundaries isn't just a way to protect yourself from harm, it's a way to affirm your self-worth. As Seneca said, the strong are those who refuse what doesn't align with their life. When you achieve this, you'll be stronger than ever, free to build the life you truly desire. Stop taking responsibility for their emotions. Never allow yourself to bear the burden of a narcissist's emotions. They often try to blame you for their negative feelings, making you feel guilty as if you are the cause of their insecurity, anger, or frustration. This is not the truth, it's a subtle form of manipulation. By making you feel responsible for soothing their emotions, they aim to trap you in their control, creating an invisible net that forces you to cater to their needs. Narcissists do not seek emotional balance or peace. Instead, they exploit others' emotions to serve their personal goals, whether it's attention, control, or a sense of power. Your empathy, a valuable trait, can become a tool for their manipulation if you are not careful. When you let them manipulate your emotions, you not only lose self-control, but also enable them to overstep boundaries, making the relationship increasingly toxic and unhealthy. Remember, other people's emotions are their own responsibility. If they are angry, frustrated, or upset, it reflects their internal way of processing and handling situations, not something you are obligated to fix. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely said, "What troubles us is not what happens, but how we perceive it." Similarly, a narcissist's emotions are not yours to carry. They stem from their interpretation of and reaction to the world, not from your actions. Stay calm amidst the emotional storms they create. You have the right to refuse to participate in their whirlwind of emotions. If they try to impose guilt or responsibility on you, pause and remind yourself, you are not responsible for their feelings. Everyone must learn to manage their emotions, including them. Refusing to be manipulated is not selfish or uncaring, it's an act of preserving your peace. By maintaining this boundary, you reclaim control over your life and emotions. Your happiness and tranquility are more important than succumbing to someone else's manipulations. Instead of getting caught in their emotional games, focus on building your emotional autonomy, as it is the path to true freedom and balance. Controlled agreement. Rather than being drawn into the emotional chaos they create, employ the tactic of controlled agreement. This is a calm and proactive way to respond, denying them the emotional reaction they desire. For instance, if they criticize you by saying, "You're so disorganized and messy," instead of rushing to defend yourself or argue, you could simply smile and reply, "You might be right. I'll work on that." This agreement doesn't acknowledge the truth of their statement, but strips them of their power. They will feel disoriented because they didn't get the reaction they were expecting. Without the ability to provoke you, they won't know how to proceed. This is how you neutralize their weapon, not by confrontation, but by maintaining calm and self-control. However, like any tactic, flexibility is key. Controlled agreement isn't always the best solution. In some situations, silence is the most powerful response. By refusing to respond or engage, you send the message that their words or actions are not worth your attention. This silence is not weakness, but a form of powerful inner control that helps you preserve your peace. Don't let a narcissist lead you through their subtle games. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have control over your mind. No one can intrude unless you allow them." When you learn to master your emotions, you not only protect yourself from manipulation, but also reclaim control over your life. Remember, when you refuse to be part of their performance, they lose their reason to continue the act. Without an audience, the stage collapses. That's when you truly free yourself from their toxic influence and begin building a healthier, more balanced, and freer life. Seek help from a third party. If you want to keep a narcissist in check and prevent them from manipulating you, involving a third party in the conversation is an incredibly effective strategy. Narcissists often operate most powerfully in private, where they can target your vulnerabilities and control your emotions without interference. In such spaces, they feel empowered, free to use subtle tactics to compel your compliance. However, the presence of another person, especially a neutral party, can disorient and even unsettle them. Psychologists note that narcissists deeply fear having their true nature exposed in front of others. They build a perfect image as a mask to hide their insecurities and flaws. When this mask is at risk of cracking, they can become confused, lose control, or react defensively to protect themselves. A third-party presence not only limits their ability to manipulate, but also forces them to adjust their behavior to maintain the facade they've carefully constructed. Mental health professionals, in particular, can identify the signs of manipulation and toxic behavior narcissists often employ. Their presence can make the narcissist feel exposed before an audience they cannot control. Dr. Wendy T. Berry, an expert on narcissism, explains the presence of someone knowledgeable and observant can disrupt a narcissist's manipulative tactics. When they lose control over the situation, they may become more restrained and avoid using their usual strategies. Additionally, a professional intervention creates a safe space for you to express your thoughts and feelings without being overwhelmed by the narcissist's tactics, such as blame, criticism, or guilt. A therapist serves not just as a mediator, but as a guardian for your mental well-being, helping you maintain your position without being drawn into their emotional maelstrom. If professional help is unavailable, seek support from a trusted friend or family member. It's crucial that this person remains calm, unaffected by the narcissist's tactics, and avoids engaging in confrontation. Their role as an observer reduces the narcissist's opportunity to exert power over you. When a third party is present, the conversation becomes fairer and less tense. The narcissist will find it harder to impose their will or make unreasonable demands. The presence of another voice in the room reminds you that you are not alone. It also bolsters your confidence in standing up to them, knowing someone has your back. Choose your ally wisely. They should be someone who can observe and intervene when necessary without being swayed by the narcissist. A reliable friend or family member can help you stay grounded and avoid getting pulled into the narcissist's power games. With a third party involved, the narcissist will have to adjust their behavior. They will no longer have free rein to manipulate your emotions unchallenged. This not only protects you from harmful actions, but also gives you greater clarity about their true nature. The presence of another person creates space for you to think more clearly and stand firm in your boundaries. Epictetus reminds us we cannot control others' actions, but we can control how we respond. Having a third party in the conversation helps you maintain that control. You don't have to face their manipulative tactics alone. Support from another person empowers you to stay confident and resist the negative emotions they try to provoke. By applying this strategy, you not only limit the narcissist's manipulation in the short term, but also build a stronger foundation for dealing with them in the long run. By refusing to let them dominate the situation, you assert your autonomy. As Marcus Aurelius taught, see things as they truly are, not as they are presented. Narcissists often create a false image of themselves, but with a witness present, that facade can easily crumble. Don't make them the center of your universe. Narcissists crave a world where everything revolves around them, their needs, desires, and emotions. They hunger for attention and praise, demanding to be the top priority in your life. But you must understand that if you let them occupy your mind and heart completely, you not only lose your balance but also hand over control to them. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, remember, you have power over your mind, and no one can intrude unless you allow it. Think of the signs in zoos that say, do not feed the animals. These are not just safety warnings but reminders that nurturing harmful habits only worsens the situation. Similarly, feeding a narcissist's ego with constant praise, unnecessary compliments, or letting them dominate your life doesn't help the relationship. Instead, it arms them with the tools to weaken your confidence and sense of self-worth. Praising or pleasing a narcissist doesn't earn their gratitude or respect. Instead, it reinforces their belief that they are superior to you. As Seneca once said, those who cannot control themselves will always seek to control others. This emboldens them, making them feel their power is absolute and you are there to serve them. Instead of fostering a healthy relationship, your concessions fuel their distorted ego, leading to further abuse. Just as you wouldn't feed wild bears to protect yourself, don't feed a narcissist's ego. They will use your attention and empathy as tools to manipulate you, turning you into an endless emotional supply. Remember, you are not responsible for filling the void within them, nor should you sacrifice your peace to satisfy them. Setting boundaries affirms that you are not merely an extension of their desires. By refusing to make them the center of your world, you reclaim control over your mind and life. As Epictetus taught, the wise do not allow others to dictate their emotions or actions. Focus on your core values, the things that bring meaning and joy to your life, instead of spending your time and energy catering to their insatiable ego. Stay vigilant. Don't be fooled by their initial charm or the need for validation they cultivate. Narcissists are not seeking balance or genuine love, they seek power and dominance. When you stop feeding their ego, they may move on to others to continue their toxic cycle, but that's not your problem. You don't need to feel guilty for protecting yourself. Ultimately, true happiness doesn't come from others' validation, but from your own internal balance and freedom. By refusing to make the narcissist the center of your universe, you protect your confidence and peace, sending a powerful message that you are in control of your life. This is the wisest and most courageous step you can take to free yourself from their control and move toward a healthier, more balanced life. Expose their lies. Exposing a narcissist's lies is not only an act of self-protection, but also a way to affirm the truth and your values. Narcissists often use deception to manipulate, leaving you confused or even doubting yourself. This insidious tactic, known as gaslighting, is designed to control you by distorting reality. Remember, the truth doesn't need to be argued, it stands firm over time. Your role is to remain patient and calm, allowing the light of truth to naturally reveal their falsehoods. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, see things as they truly are, not as they are presented. When confronted with lies, Focus on documenting events clearly and in detail. Write everything down from important conversations to suspicious behaviors or incidents. These records not only help you stay grounded but also serve as evidence to confront them when needed. Transparency in communication is key. Share significant information with trusted individuals who can support you when facing the narcissist. When speaking with them, maintain a calm demeanor and avoid letting emotions take control. If possible, engage with the narcissist in the presence of others. This reduces their ability to manipulate or distort reality. As Friedrich Nietzsche stated, truth is not something the weak accept, but something the strong must steadfastly protect. When you start uncovering and exposing the truth, the narcissist will likely attempt to twist or rewrite the narrative to maintain control. They may resort to blaming or slandering you, but these actions often serve to expose their own deceit. It's crucial to remain steadfast and avoid being drawn into their emotional traps. As Epictetus reminded us, we cannot control others' behavior, but we can fully control our own responses. Don't fear their attempts to discredit you. True friends and those who genuinely understand you won't be easily swayed by their lies. Anyone who chooses to side with them or believe their stories is not someone you need in your life. As Oscar Wilde aptly put it, be yourself. Those who matter don't mind, and those who mind don't matter. Your truth and authenticity will attract healthier, more meaningful relationships. Awaken your inner strength. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not seek freedom from outside yourself, for all the strength you need is already within you." This isn't just encouragement, but a profound reminder that your inner strength is the key to breaking free from cycles of manipulation and insecurity. Stoicism emphasizes that the unhealed wounds and voids within our soul's pain, inadequacies, or unaddressed traumas are fertile ground for manipulators to exploit. However, it's vital not to blame yourself for having been caught in this dynamic. Instead, be grateful for the clarity you've gained. Recognizing the truth is the first step toward freedom and growth. Seneca said, "There is no shame in falling, what matters is rising stronger." Don't let past mistakes become shackles that hinder your progress. Each time you realize you've been manipulated or hurt, it isn't a failure but an opportunity to learn. Understanding the nature of manipulation and the tactics others use equips you with powerful tools to protect your mind and emotions. Remember, you have the power to rewrite your own script. You are not a supporting character in someone else's play, you are the author of your life. By learning to identify and neutralize manipulative tactics, you can establish clear boundaries and shield yourself from toxic relationships. This isn't selfish but a necessary step toward creating the life you deserve, one filled with healthy love, self-respect, and genuine happiness. Epictetus taught, "What troubles us is not what happens but how we perceive it." When you focus on what you can control, your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you'll realize that no one can take away your freedom unless you allow it. Focus on internal growth, expand your knowledge, develop skills to protect yourself, and build your self-esteem. Don't let what lies outside your control, such as another's behavior, dim your light. By nurturing your inner strength, you'll find the courage to stand tall in the face of manipulation and deceit. You'll learn to value yourself beyond external validation and embrace the freedom that comes with self-awareness and resilience. This journey of self-discovery and empowerment is the greatest gift you can give to yourself, a gift that will guide you toward a healthier, more balanced, and fulfilling life. Focus on healing and moving forward. Loving a narcissist is like stepping into an endless spiral where you keep giving without ever receiving enough to fill the void in their heart. Like moths drawn to light, we're often captivated by their charm and the false confidence they project. Narcissists craft an intricate play where you are not just the audience but also an actor trying to meet their demands, pamper them, and understand them all for a sliver of affection. Tragically, your efforts only reinforce their belief that they deserve everything, while you're obligated to keep giving. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, your happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts. The belief that you can heal them or change a narcissist traps you in this toxic cycle. But the heartbreaking truth is that you cannot change someone who doesn't want to change. They are like a bottomless pit, only taking and never giving. They don't love you, they love how you serve their fragile ego. When you grow tired, depleted, or express a need for yourself, they turn cold, distant, and blame you, casting you as the villain to further fuel their sense of power. Why then do we stay despite knowing this? Is it love, or is it fear of being alone? Is it the desire to help them change, or the hope that love can heal our own wounds? As Epictetus said, we are not disturbed by events, but by the way we interpret them. Narcissists exploit your fear of abandonment and emotional gaps from your past to keep you submissive. They use subtle tactics like cold indifference, veiled threats, or fleeting praise to ensure you don't leave. You sacrifice and strive to perfect yourself, hoping your love can heal them. Yet this only leads to a clearer truth. This relationship is unhealthy, and you are not responsible for carrying their burdens. You deserve love, respect, and kindness, things a narcissist cannot give you. First, ask yourself, are you staying because you love them, or because of your own fear of loneliness and unmet emotional needs? Psychologists advise understanding your emotional wounds before entering relationships, as failing to do so makes you vulnerable to those who exploit such weaknesses. Self-awareness is the first step to breaking free from this toxic cycle. Dr. Kristen Neff, a pioneer in self-compassion research, encourages practicing compassion for yourself. Remind yourself that you deserve love and that leaving a toxic relationship doesn't make you a betrayer or selfish. It's an act of protecting your inner peace and reaffirming your worth. Rather than focusing on changing the narcissist, focus on healing yourself. Rebuild your self-esteem and seek support from trusted friends or a therapist. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential for overcoming the damage. More importantly, prepare yourself to avoid repeating mistakes. Once you heal, you'll better recognize warning signs and steer clear of unhealthy relationships. Marcus Aurelius advised, stop and consider, is this action helpful to me? Apply this philosophy to thoughtfully evaluate future relationships. True love isn't about sacrificing yourself or fixing someone. It's about mutual support, sharing, and respect. You deserve that kind of love. Remember, you don't need to be anyone's savior, you only need to protect yourself. Once you understand your worth and maintain self-control, no one can manipulate or hurt you. That is your true strength. Live a beautiful life without them. What could frustrate a narcissist more than seeing you live a happy, strong, and radiant life without them? Narcissists and manipulators thrive on being the center of your world, controlling every aspect of your life to feel significant. But when you rise above, shed their control, and step out of the shadow they created, you shatter their illusion of power. They cannot bear the truth that you can thrive perhaps even more brilliantly without them. As Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, the strong don't need revenge, for their very existence is a testament. Narcissists aren't hurt by your criticisms or revenge, they're most wounded when you no longer need them. When you shine brightly and live a meaningful life, you not only reclaim control over your life, but also leave them feeling small and powerless. This strikes directly at their fragile, yet overinflated ego. Your life should not be defined by anyone else. You are an independent, strong and valuable individual with your own unique potential. Don't let anyone's presence or absence define your life. Step out of your comfort zone, lift your head high, and pursue your dreams. Don't wait for anyone's approval. Remember, you are already a radiant light. Engage in activities that make you feel alive and help you realize your true worth. As Epictetus taught, true freedom is the ability to live according to your will without being hindered by what's beyond your control. Freedom isn't just leaving the narcissist, it's living a life unbound by the wounds they left behind. Build relationships with people who bring positive energy, who truly value you, and who are willing to journey with you through growth. Spend time with those who uplift you rather than dim your light. Don't forget to renew yourself through new experiences and communities. Take classes, explore new hobbies, or try ventures you've never considered. These steps will not only bring joy but also awaken untapped potential within you. Personal growth is the strongest proof that you've overcome the toxic influence of others. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The best way to counter evil is to live a good life." Living well is not just the strongest response, it's how you heal from the pain they caused. Let your joy, success, and confidence speak for you. They no longer have any power over you. When you live fully and meaningfully, you not only transcend the pain but also affirm your worth in an undeniable way. Remember, your growth and happiness are not just personal victories, they are declarations that you are the master of your destiny. This is the ultimate liberation and the most radiant triumph you can achieve. The journey to overcome the manipulation and control of narcissists is not an easy one, but you've already taken a crucial step, dedicating time to understand, equip yourself with strategies, and adopt the mindset necessary to protect your values and freedom. This is the first step in asserting your inner strength and reclaiming control over your life. We often think that defeating a narcissist means taking them down or proving them wrong. However, as Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the best way to deal with a bad person is to live a good life. This means you don't need to engage in their games. True strength lies in standing firm, safeguarding your mind and heart from any external negativity. When you focus on yourself, develop your values, and pursue peace, you achieve the most complete victory. Life is a journey where you are the author of your story. Narcissists may try to control that story, but remember, they cannot succeed unless you allow them to. As Epictetus taught, keep your mind free, for no one can bind it unless you consent. When you take control of your mind, you not only free yourself from manipulation but also open the door to a more meaningful, freer, and fuller life. Remember, every strategy we've shared in this video is not just a tool for dealing with narcissists but also a principle to help you become a stronger, more rational, and virtuous person. Stoicism teaches that peace and freedom come not from controlling others but from controlling yourself. Focus on what you can change, let go of what's beyond your control, and build the life you truly deserve. You have the right to live freely, happily, and unbound by anyone. Move forward with the confidence that you now possess the tools to face life's challenges. And always remember, this journey isn't just about escaping the influence of a narcissist, but about discovering and developing the best version of yourself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to spread these powerful strategies to more people. Let's make our community a place where everyone is supported and equipped to live a meaningful and free life. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.